What camp are you in? Based on your ownership and your picks, I assume you're in the we're going to get back out there and actually do stuff again camp.
Yeah, Brian, first of all, thanks for having me on. I'm looking at this as a longer trend because what we saw happen in this last 12 months probably brought our innovation from 5 years down to 1 year. So I actually believe that we're going to have the reopen trade, but I'm looking at longer trends. What we're seeing is the environmental social governance push. NASDAQ announced that they're going to require member firms to list how many minorities and women are on their boards. The first news we get from Tesla on diversity is the report, and that made news yesterday. So we're seeing the social aspect and the human aspect coming into ESG. Then we have millennials. Millennials are anywhere from ages 39 to 24, and they're starting to form households now. We saw that in Toll Brothers' numbers yesterday. Housing is going through the roof. And lastly, artificial intelligence with the labor shortage. So we see longer term trends.
Yeah, it's a good point. Listen, a lot of these millennials, you don't want to lump them in, Degas. This pandemic's been an eye-opening. Maybe you don't want to be in a one-bedroom apartment your whole life, and maybe it will accelerate your future plans. We've all sort of realized our humanity and maybe our mortality, and that household creation with 85 million millennials is going to be a massive demographic trend, whether or not we had COVID.
Exactly. So, and what we're seeing is that we're looking at what millennials are buying is where you want to be in your purchases. So, because they're actually the largest work group now in the labor force. So we're seeing that continuing trend, and that trend will continue on for a number of years.
Yeah, and you look at some of the other trends out there as far as ESG. You mentioned Tesla. By the way, Elon Musk apparently moving his foundation to Austin from California. We just did the moving segment. That might be a high-profile one. What about an end phase? Give us another couple names, Degas, that we can use and profit from going forward from these trends.
Right, so Enphase, great company, $16 billion company, and what they do is they do the what's called micro-inverter semiconductors for solar panels, and they're doing exceptionally well. They're up some 400% since the beginning of the year. Once again, focus on the environment, and under the Biden administration, we think a company like Enphase would do outstanding. Then we get into more of the physical service sectors. Those companies are starting to come up now, and we talked about a lot of that around the travel, the Marriott's, the Southwest. These companies will continue to do well going into 2021. And then we're looking at, well, what else can really help us in this overall trend? And like I said before, home building, we think that's going to continue to do well. Names like NVR, home builder. We also like just the old-fashioned Home Depot.
Yep.
Great company, is doing great numbers throughout the pandemic and will continue to do great numbers as the housing boom continues.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.